discussion of best girl is one of the most heated and one of the most notorious topics in the history of anime. So I'm gonna cut to the chase. Komi is best girl. As of right now, there is no better person to represent everything that the entire anime community stands for. But why? Why is she the best? How am I going to stand by this statement? How is Komi already a better female character than the vast majority of best girls out there? She doesn't speak. Her anime is only recently aired. She has no superpowers, no dick. There is nothing about her that is out of the ordinary. Unlike Astolfo. So why? Why is this character that struggles so much just to communicate, is crushed by this mountain of anxiety and terrified of how people will see her one of the very best female characters that we have? First though, we have to look back at what best girl is itself. The term itself is quite vague, however. Some use it to describe who they think is the literal best female character in a series. Some use it when they kiss their body pillows goodnight. Or the most common use is when people apply it to who they think is the most attractive girl, cat girl or Felix. Use of the phrase best girl is not just limited to the world of anime. Multiple accounts in the real world have cited Bill Clinton or Kelly in EDP 445 as people commonly using this phrase. But even more specifically, the phrase first came to prominence in the anime community because of Evangelion and everybody fighting over which kid they wanted to. Actually, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Anyway, here you had one of the earliest inceptions of what would later become the Best Girl Wars. It was simple, you chose Rei or Asuka, blue or red, love or war, bonding or bondage, peace or pegging. Such a simple question would instantly tell you so much about another person. People dreamt of peace and a quiet relationship. But they also wanted a 15-year-old tsundere to step all over them and call them a sussy idiot. And then you had the people that wanted Karu to fall. Since then, the term has still mainly been used for those same reasons. But now with each and every new anime season, the race for the title of Best Girl has become more and more heated than it has ever been. Characters have become more realistic, slowly relying less and less on popular archetypes like the tsundere, and focusing on becoming their own character that is easier for somebody to relate to, trying to formulate an actual connection to the consumer. So for one to stand out, they really have to come in with something fresh. Some focus more on having a design that really tries to show off their personality and boobies. Others focus more on lying to you, deceiving you, and really hurting your fucking feelings. But Komi doesn't do any of those things. She doesn't exist in a fantasy world or have any special abilities that make her stand out from anyone else. She isn't drawn with the proportions of your standard isekai girl that now come with their own gravitational fields, satellites, and McDonald's franchises. Komi does, however, have something that makes her more grounded and more relatable than most of her characters that she is up against. Yet at the same time, it's something that plagues her very own existence. Let's just compare an Asuka scene from Eva to a scene from the new Komi anime. You hear that? Peace. Silence. Komi already stands above the common tsundere. She is not going to abuse you or call you names, and for one very fucked up reason. Komi suffers from such an extreme case of social anxiety that completely shuts down her ability to communicate. An absolutely painful mental issue that is extremely common in the real world, although not often to the extreme that Komi faces. In your own life, you've either known someone that lives with it, but they probably haven't told you, or you've had to deal with it yourself. To describe social anxiety to anybody that doesn't know about the feeling, just imagine that you're walking down a street. There's somebody walking towards you. Most people would simply say, "Hi, how are you?" and keep moving. But your mind is overcome in this rush of panic. You run through hundreds of different things to say, how to say it. Do you look them in the eye? Will they actually respond? Hundreds of different options run through your mind within a second. After running the stats on thousands of different greetings, you can finally decide on the classic, "Hey, it's easy, it's chill, it requires zero effort and makes you look cool." You open your mouth but the words won't come out. Sorry about that. And now you're left spending the rest of your day thinking of how much you messed up, or how the other person reacted to you, when in reality they don't actually remember a single thing of the encounter. But you now have to carry that weight and that dread with you for the rest of your day. Social anxiety is very much a real issue, and having a character openly face it like this is something that can actually help a lot of people. We see Komi live with this very real problem that affects her a lot in her everyday life. But even with the struggles that she must face, she still stands up and wants to find a way to get past it. She is weighed down by her problems, but she doesn't get angry at the rest of the world for it. She doesn't let herself attain this massive ego from all the praise that she gets by default. Komi tries to work past her problems and better herself for it, knowing just how hard it is for her to do so. This doesn't just make Komi another female character that is made for the sake of fan service. Well, it depends where you look. But as someone that people can admire and follow throughout her entire journey. This is very much a big reason why Komi is best girl. But if you leave now, you'll be missing out on a lot, so don't. However, the way the opening of the story depicts her does even more to draw us in and generate more interest in her as a character. When we first get introduced to Komi, we have zero information about her, obviously. All we know is that the entire world loves her and adores her, and when she first meets Tadano, she comes off as a bit of a bitch. But then through the art of storytelling, we then learn about the very real struggles that plague her very own existence. Here's my case. So we start out with Tadano, and he is basic. We're talking nuggets with no sauce, a bottle of water, and listening to Drake type of basic. But at least he knows it. He sees Komi and tries to shoot his shot on sight with no hesitation. The odds may be against him, but he's going to take that chance. Komi looks at her options. She chooses death. Silence. Not even that.
Can I crush your balls?
To let him down nicely, Komi crushes this man's soul. She had 4 options and she chose death. Komi comes in and straight away makes us think, oh no, we've another tsundere on our hands. And then she flees from that very same encounter. Tadano now has to sit beside Komi in class. He is still rocked from his last encounter. One more hit and he is out cold. But now he's got the entire classroom coming for him. Everybody wants to finish him off. A shinobi attacks him from out of nowhere, almost taking away his arm. He looks up and he is about to get ambushed. People are coming at him from every single direction, and before he knows it, he is knocked out cold. The screen slowly fades to black, and as he wakes up, he can hear somebody talking right beside him. He hears Komi. He then realizes that Komi is a furry. She knows that he knows. She looks at her options.
Run.
Komi can't escape. He then realizes that she isn't actually a furry. She just can't speak to anyone. This entire image that had been built up around Komi isn't as intimidating as that it once been. He uses his brain to get around this and has her write down her answers to everything that he asks. He stays with her in that classroom and finally understands that she isn't actually that intimidating. It's just that nobody understands her. She's been alone for her entire life with no one to talk to and is terrified that's how the rest of her life is going to play out. Now, this is important because what the story did to suck us in even more was built Komi up as this godlike figure within the confines of her own world. She is adored, respected, and everybody that she encounters falls right before her. She is built up to be this perfect being. Just like Kim Jong-un, she can probably talk to dolphins and doesn't have to shit. Yet at the same time, she has this huge problem that prevents her from being able to live normally in today's world. Anime and manga have always used these flawed characters in their story as a way to spark your interest in them that much quicker. It's why you can relate to Deku after one episode. It's what makes Takemichi easier to understand when his story begins. It's what makes it easier to feel sorry for Denji every time he thinks with his dick. Komi has existed and had these issues her whole life, long before the moment that we actually meet her. She doesn't exist to fill the role of being the main boy's love interest like so many have done before her, but stands before people as an individual character that struggles, a character that has to deal with this agonizing social anxiety constantly looming over them at all times. Yet regardless of how much it's affected her, she still doesn't blame the world for her problems. She still wants to push through her greatest fears and form a connection with other people. She has already spent years of her life trying to get past it and failing, and she's willing to get back up and try it all over again. She may be terrified of what she has to do, but the belief that she has in herself is fucking sick. Komi isn't just best girl because it's a trend. She is best girl because she embodies everything that it should be. Someone that people can admire, someone that can inspire. She is a character that has been through so much but will keep moving forward regardless of how tough it gets. Komi is a flawed character and it's this flaw that draws you towards her. Yeah, it's cool that she's figured 3 C's, but what we come back for are the problems, the issues, the relatability, and trying to see what happens along the way. Hi, if you're one of the people that made it to the end of the video, then thanks. If you want more of this sort of stuff, then stick around and subscribe. It would actually mean a lot. Anyway, like it, share it, and comment something down below. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.